program introduction today, I want to start off by talking about buying local, and we talk about this quite a bit here in Walton County, but that's what our program is about today. Just in time for your holiday shopping, by the way, so we want to make sure that you understand the importance of buying local. Before I introduce our speaker, I want to thank all of you who do buy local. It's very important for our business owners in Walton County and for our schools and for our county as a whole. With the ELOS penny tax, we've been able to build state-of-the-art facilities for Walton students and also provide iPads to our high school students and the 8th graders in our middle schools. It's been done with your penny tax from shopping locally, and it is very important that we continue to do that. I know next month when Kevin presents the State of the County address here at the membership luncheon, he will also mention the many SPLOST projects made possible by shopping locally here in the county. So remember, you're helping to build great county facilities and schools when you use our business owners here in the county and buy local. And no better time, obviously, to do that than during the holidays when they make most of their profits for the year in November and December. So we hope you will do that. Our speaker today is Laura Katz, Area Director of the University of Georgia Small Business Development Center in Athens. Ms. Katz has over 15 years experience in product marketing and business development for both large corporations and small businesses. She began her career at the SBDC in 2011 and was named Area Director for Athens in June of 2015. So please join me in giving a warm Walton County welcome to Laura Katz.
Good afternoon. Can everybody hear me okay? No? Is this not working? Seems to be. I'll make it. Is that better? No. We're going to be a rapper. I got to talk like this?
Yeah.
This is going to be very hard for me to talk like this, but I'll try. I'm from New York, so I talk with my hands, and I move around a lot. But thank you so much for letting me come today and speak to all of you about buying local. It is such a huge topic, and I've only threw a little overview together to try and give everyone enough information to make you hungry and want to come to the SBDC and work with me individually so I can help you with your business. Like Dr. Hobbs?
Just
Mr. Hobbs said that, now I forgot what I was saying here. Oh, I have 15 years experience, and now that was 5 years ago, so it's 20 years experience. I'm telling you my age now in business development and marketing. I've worked for some very large corporations in the country, and I've worked for a couple smaller startups. So I have a wide variety of different experience working with businesses in marketing and business development. So that being said, today we're going to talk about the importance of buying local. And Terry asked me to touch on the impact of out shopping on Walton County, and we're going to get into this in a little bit, and I'll try and explain it to you. So there's the title. Okay, so basically, what do we do for Georgia's businesses? I'm not sure if everybody here is familiar with the Small Business Development Center, but we offer no-cost consulting, continuing education at low cost, and then market research for no cost for our business customers, for our business clients that we work with. And if you look in your agenda, you'll see that the type of impact that our consulting resources have on the businesses. And typically what this boils down to, through the research that we've done, businesses that have worked with the Small Business Development Center have done better over the past 5 years than businesses that are sort of out there on their own, doing it on their own, in particular in sales and in growth. So it's like having 17 MBAs working for you for free. We have 17 offices around the state, so please take advantage of the resources that we offer you. Some of the different things that we do is, I'm looking here. I'm not used to talking the slides, so, but we do planning and management, we do HR, marketing and business development. We have a whole export program that can help you with your business if you're thinking about exporting, especially now with the port in Savannah. Exporting is a big deal in Georgia. There's tax credits out there for you, so if you're interested in that, I can hook you up with the right people to help you get going with exporting for your business. We can also help you with procurement. So since we are hosted and we're faculty at the University of Georgia, we have resources within the University of Georgia. If you're looking to do business with the University of Georgia as well, I can point you in the right direction and get you the right resources to help you start doing businesses with us. Now here we're showing, I talked about this, the impact of our consulting assistants. So if you take a look at this in 2014 by some research that we did, we had an increase in sales growth for SBDC assisted businesses of 19.7%. So that means in 2014, if you were one of our clients, from our surveys that we've done with our clients, they had 19.7% increase in their sales. So I mean, that's a huge amount of increase. So that's the type of things that you can drive if you work with us. And if you look at a regular business that was just sort of out there doing it on their own, last year's growth was about 4.9% overall. So you can see what the difference is of working with us. And this just goes on a little bit more about the impact that we have around the state of Georgia. So typically our clients over the past 5 years have done $8.9 billion in sales. So this is tax revenues that we earn here in the state of Georgia. $525 million in capital formation. We work a lot with clients in helping them get capital to start up their business or to get capital to grow their business. Let's see here. We've helped 1,422 businesses start in the state of Georgia within the past 5 years, and we've created over 11,785 jobs within the state of Georgia. And most of the employers are small businesses. And when I'm talking about small businesses, we're talking about the SBA's definition of a small business. So basically, we can work with anyone in the state of Georgia that's not Coke or Home Depot, okay? So you don't have to be a mom and pop or one person. We work with all sorts of different businesses. And then of course now we get into like what clients say about the SBDC resources, because you're thinking, golly, if they're free, how good can you be, like for free, right? Well, we have good, we have success and impact with our clients. 96% felt that the SBDC assistance they received was beneficial to their business. And 98% indicated that they would recommend our services to a friend. And most of the people that come in to work with us are actually by word of mouth. We don't really have a large budget for marketing or advertising. So basically it's when we go out into the community and network with other people, we get to tell them about the resources that are available through public service and outreach. We're there, your taxpayers' dollars are paying for our salaries, and we're there to help you because our mission is to help you grow and expand. Okay, so enough about us. What about y'all here in Walton County? Terry wanted me to touch on the impact of out shopping in Walton County. And this is sort of a complicated subject, and basically what this is talking about of the types of businesses, the retail trade, food and drink that you have within Walton County. What is the supply and what is the demand? And it's a little counterintuitive the way this is set up, but actually a negative number it relates to an oversupply in that area, and a positive number relates to you have more demand than you have supply. So it's a little backwards and it's a little complicated to understand this. But basically what this is telling you here is that the retail potential, the demand in Walton County, now this is retail trade in general, is $765 million, okay? And the retail sales, or the supply that's here, is $890 million, okay? So you have a larger supply than you actually have of demand. So that means there's a gap of $125 million. So what exactly does this mean? This means as a business in retail trade in Walton County for certain industries, and we're going to dig a little bit deeper into these statistics here, that you need to promote your business in such a way that people from outside the county come in to buy your retail trade or services, because there is just not the population or the demand within Walton County to help with how much is actually there that you can sell, okay? And this, now let's look at the food and drink. So they're saying the retail potential or the demand that's within Walton County right now is, let's get my glasses, $84 million. But the supply is only $56 million, okay? So that means you have $28 million in leakage from the county. That means that there is a demand of $28 million that actually have to go outside the county to get what they're looking for, and that's called a leakage. And for some reason, that's a positive number, but that's how that works. So what I looked at here was, okay, say we were actually had enough demand for the supply that we have in the county, what would this equate to in tax dollars? So for the retail trade, if you were drawing from outside the area into the area because there is more of a supply than there is a demand, that would equate to an additional $7.5 million in tax revenue at a 6% tax rate. Okay. And for food and drink, if you were able to have enough supply within the county so people did not have to go outside the county to get their food and drink from other people, that would equate to an additional $1.7 million in food and drink tax revenues based on a 6% rate. And that's just something that I looked up on the internet, your tax rate, and it was 6% overall. So I'm just making some assumptions here. But you can see how much potential you actually have in the county here to have additional tax revenues and have additional business within the county. So what are these dollars telling us? Oh, here's the data definitions if you want to see it. I'm going to read these. So retail sales is estimated sales to consumers by establishments, and sales to businesses are excluded. So this is business to consumers, okay? Retail potential is the expected amount spent by consumers at a retail establishment, and the supply and demand estimates are in current dollars. Now the gap factor, that's the difference, the positive or the minus, presents a snapshot of the retail opportunity, and it measures the relationship between the supply and demand. So a positive value represent a leakage of retail opportunity outside the trade area. That means that people are actually leaving the trade area, which is Walton County, to get those goods and services. And a negative value represents a surplus of retail sales, and that's a market where customers need to be drawn in to the trade area. And of course, the retail gap, that positive or negative amount, represents a difference between the potential sales and the actual sales. So I'm going to go back a slide here. Take it back? Yes. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on exactly what we're talking about here? No. Okay. So I dug into this a little bit deeper because you think, wow, retail, whoops, I'm losing this here. Retail trade, how can we have a surplus of retail trade in Walton County? So I wanted to break down the data to see exactly what they were talking about. And what I looked at were the larger numbers. I didn't look at the little numbers, but the big numbers to understand what this is. So if you look at surplus factor by industry group, what you see is that you have a surplus a little over 20% of auto parts, accessories, and tires. That means that if you're thinking about starting up an auto parts, accessory, or tire store, you might want to think twice about it, okay? The same thing is with furniture, that there is a surplus of about 38% of furniture stores. Building materials, there's a surplus of a little over 20%. Lawn and garden, there's a surplus of about 30%. Gasoline stations, you have a surplus close to 40%. Used merchandise, your surplus is around 40%. And vending machine operators, you got a lot of them. Let's see, you're about 70% for vending machine operators. So all those things are being taken into consideration with your surplus. So the next thing I looked at, okay, well, if you have a surplus of those items, what are people going outside of the county to get, right? Because there's retail things that are going out. So this is the leakage factor. This is where people are actually leaving Walton County to get these supplies and these products and services. So once again, you have home furnishings here, which is odd. So you'd have to dig deeper into this information to figure out what types of home furnishings are people getting within Walton County, what types are they going outside of Walton County for. It would require a little bit of further research, but that's about 12%. Electronics and appliances, they're leaving the county to get that. Clothing, they're leaving the county to buy clothing. Shoes, I guess there's not a great place to get shoes here because they're either shopping on Zappos or going outside the county. Department stores, you see there's close to 90% of people are leaving the county to go to department stores. And that would make sense because I don't think you really have any department stores in Walton County. There's no Macy's or anything here. Do you have a Target? I'm not sure. Is there a Target? No. probably a need for a Target. Office supplies and gift stores are leaving the county for that. Full-service restaurants and special food services, they're leaving the county for. And then drinking places for alcohol. Are you dry? You're not dry here, are you? No. But they're leaving the county for those as well. And, you know, there could be reasons for it. I mean, you've got Athens on one side of you, you've got, Lawrenceville on the other. You have some big established, restaurants and whatnot, and places, I guess, Athens probably is a big draw for the bars or whatever. But these are all different types of information that you need to think about when you're thinking about operating your business, what types of goods and services that you're offering. Is there even going to be a demand for it in Walton County? This is a type of research that if you're working, to bring it back to us again, but if you're working with an SBDC consultant, we can run this research for you. It doesn't cost you anything. We could take a look at it and make a determination, is that market even there? Should I open up a store like this or do a retail trade or whatever? So those are the things to think about. So I thought, well, this was interesting, but really, you need to understand a little bit more, not only the goods and services that you have in Walton County, and I'm a marketing person by trade. I love market research, I love demographics. So I thought, well, let's just take a look at who lives in Walton County. Because without understanding who your population is, who the consumers are, how do you even know if, whatever you're selling, that there's a demand for it within the county? So what we did is we ran some market research and we looked at the top 4 population groups within Walton County to get a better understanding of who is living in the county. So the largest population group, and the 4 that I picked were all pretty much around the same amount, and then of course it started going down from there, but they're all around 12 to 15% of your total population, these 4. So these consumers are called Green Acres. And the Green Acre consumer is an avid do-it-yourselfer. They love to maintain and remodel their homes. Okay? Their median age is about 43, and they're mostly married couples with no children. They're cautious consumers that focus on quality and durability. The median household income is $72,000. 60% are college educated. And their media of choice are provided by satellite service, radio, television, and also they have an emphasis on country, home, and garden. Now, understanding this consumer, this Green Acres consumer, you, as a marketer, we can take a look at what your product or service is. We can determine would they have a use for this product or service, and what would be the best way to reach this consumer in Walton County. So they like satellite service, radio, television, okay? With country, home, and garden. So if I had a business coming in and talking to me, and this is primarily their target market who's going to buy their products and services, I would probably say, you might want to advertise in a Garden and Guns magazine. You might want to do a small radio ad, because this is how people in this county are getting this information. Okay. Any question on the Green Acres? And this information here, this is called psychographic research. And we have a program that's called ESRI. It's a very expensive program, but we have it through the University of Georgia. And you can not only run demographics with it, but you can run the psychographics based on a radius, an address, a county. I ran it for the whole Walton County. But say you're thinking about opening up a business in, I don't know, somebody said Walnut Grove earlier, right? So I can do a radius 5 miles from Walnut Grove. Well, who is within that 5-mile radius, and how do they get their information? So this is stuff that you can make good decisions on for your business or service. So who else lives in Walton County? Middleburg. Does it sound like anybody in the room? Conservative, family-oriented consumers. They value faith and country. They rely on their smartphones and mobile devices to stay in touch and pride themselves on their expertise. The median household income is $55,000. 66% have either a high school diploma or some college. And the way that they get their information is through TV, magazines that provide entertainment information, and they prefer to buy American and for a good price. Anybody here in the room of Middleburg? Bet you there's a couple, right? Does it sound like you? Isn't it interesting how much they can understand who it is that lives in Walton County? So the same thing, if you're a business and you're doing an American made, then you know that this is your demographic and this is who you want to market to. Who else lives in Walton County? Salt of the earth. Citizens are older, may have grown children that have moved away. The median household income is $52,000. 42% have a high school diploma only. Latest technology is not their forte. They use it when absolutely necessary. They prefer to seek face-to-face contact in their routine activities. So that means they love to have that personal relationship. They love to go into the store. They love that the person knows who they are, what their interests are. They're the last to buy the latest and greatest products. They're not early adopters by any means. They want to make sure that VHS is proven before they actually go ahead and buy it. They're conservative consumers. They prefer to conduct their business in person rather than online. Does this sound like anybody in the room? Anybody here still with a flip phone? You are salt of the earth. Okay, and then the last one are the Southern Satellites. They enjoy country living, prefer the outdoor activities, and do-it-yourself home projects, probably why you have a surplus of home and garden shops in Walton County. They're settled married couples who own their own home. The median household income is $44,000. 40% have a high school diploma, and 41% have some college. They obtain a majority of their information from TV compared to other media, and they tend to be somewhat late in adapting to technology, but not as late as this gentleman in the front with the flip phone. They are proven. Smartphones are awesome. You might want to get one. So these are only the 4 largest demographics in Walton County. There's tons of others, and based on your product or service, we can figure out where, are these people even located in Walton County? And this information is not only available for Walton County. We can look at it nationwide. We can look at Athens. We can look, around Georgia. We can look at multi-states. This information is available to you as a business owner, so take advantage of it. Okay, so now that we understand who our demographic is in Walton County, the next thing we want to think about is, well, how are they doing their shopping, right? Because we want to talk about the buy local. So has anybody heard of the showrooming or experienced showrooming in the past? Do you know what that is? So showrooming is when people come into your store and they look at a product and then they're going on their smartphone and they're Googling it to see where they can get a better price for it, and then they're ordering it online, right? That's happening to everybody. Well, believe it or not, this trend is changing. And I heard this on National Public Radio when I was driving into work. So I did some research on it because I'm a marketing person. I love that kind of stuff. And the new trend is something called web rooming. So I thought you all might be interested in this. Okay. So web rooming is a little bit different. Web rooming is where people are going online and they're doing the research first, and then they're going into the showroom and they're purchasing the product or service. So this is a little bit of a switch from the showrooming, okay? And how many people are actually doing web rooming? 69% of consumers are now utilizing web rooming. So what does that mean for businesses in Walton County? Any ideas? You got to have a website. You got it. And if you haven't updated it in the past 5 years, you need to get it updated, because your website is your calling card to the web rooming people. And if you look like your website is old, it doesn't work, or they can't find you on Google, then you're not going to be able to take advantage of this demographic, okay? And we can help you. We don't build websites, but we can do critiques. We can help you understand SEO matrices and how you need to update your website, or what types of keywords you're using, how to understand your Google Analytics. Those are all resources that we have. We have expertise in those areas around the state, and we can help businesses with that information. So you notice somebody, they got a great website, they really seem to understand social media. Well, they're probably working with an SBDC consultant, or they're taking our continuing education classes. So 52% of people are still going to do the showrooming, okay, and that's still going to happen. And then they have 43% are doing something where they actually buy online and then they go into the store to pick it up. I did this last year with Walmart, where I did all my shopping online with Walmart. I had it shipped to the store, and then I drove into the store like at 6:30 in the morning when nobody was there. It was awesome. I walked into the back to the customer service desk, I picked up all my packages, I paid for them, and I left. It was great. And you can offer the same type of service as well. I mean, you're not as big as Walmart, but you can offer the same type of thing where people can buy online, come into your store, your retail service at a different time and pick it up, and you can take advantage of it. This all gets back to understanding who your demographic is, how they get their information, and making sure that your social media and your websites are up to date to take advantage of these trends that are going on. Now, let's see what else I have here. So who is doing web rooming and showrooming and buying online? So smartphone owners, not the gentleman in the front with the flip phone. I'm sorry to pick on you. It's just like a comedy routine. You sit in the front and you're going to get picked on by the speaker. I'm so sorry about that.
Go right ahead.
But smartphone owners will spend 34% more on gifts this holiday season than non-smartphone owners. And the smartphone owners are the ones that do the web rooming. Now, omni-channel shoppers expect to spend 75% more than store-only holiday shoppers. And omni-channel shoppers are a multi-channel approach to sales, okay? So that's where you provide your customer with a seamless shopping experience. So you can shop online, you can go in the store, you can do it from a desktop, a mobile device, or by telephone. By telephone? They say telephone. I don't know why they do, but I guess you can call in. Or go into a brick and mortar store. So that's sort of your omni-channel thing. And then it also says that web rooming shoppers will rely heavily on the internet as a research tool, and many will make purchase decisions before approaching the point of sale. So this is where people, and I'm sure some of you are doing this too, I do it. I'm looking for a car right now, so I've been doing a lot of research online. I'm reading consumer reports. I'm looking at the reviews. I'm, looking at all the data, looking at colors, styles, getting an idea of how much it's going to cost before I make my purchase decision, okay? That's web rooming. But when I make my purchase decision, I'm not going to order a car online. I'm actually going to go into the dealership, probably go to a couple different dealerships, do a little negotiating. I'm a web roomer, and this is who your consumer is now. Any questions on web rooming, showrooming, multi-channel shopping? Here's a couple more statistics, because we love statistics in marketing. It says web rooming is a stronger trend than showrooming. Many brick and mortar retailers will start deploying tablets and offer free Wi-Fi in their stores to accelerate the trend in 2015. So if you have a retail store and your shopper comes in, you might want to give them a tablet. I mean, think about it. I don't know how applicable it is now, but just think about it. This is what the bigger retailers are doing, or at least make sure that the Wi-Fi is available. Because the younger generation, the smartphone users, we look at Wi-Fi like water, okay? It shouldn't be like something you gotta pay for when you go in a store, something you need a special code for. It should be something you should just be able to go in and use it. And that's how these people think. And if you don't offer those types of services within your retail operations, in your restaurants, in your insurance agencies, then people are not going to utilize you other than the gentleman in the front, because it's a hassle, right? They have to use their data in order to get online. So you want to make it easy for them to be able to do that. The other thing is that at least 10 to 15% of in-store sales can be directly attributed to web rooming. And now they're showing, we've got some, if you can read it, but we've got some age groups here. So it shows, let's see, 35% are age 18 to 24 years. A younger demographic will do the web rooming. Age 25 to 35 is 46%. So if that's your demographic, 25 to 35, then you want to make sure that you're going to have this type of stuff available. Ages 35 to 49 is 43%, and ages 50 to 68 is 30%. That's your lowest demographic, is the older generation. But they're going to pick up on it. I mean, they're already on Facebook, right? Watching their grandkids, and my parents already have a smartphone. My dad's almost 80. So, I mean, they're picking up on this. It makes it, he's got a Kindle now. I got him on the Kindle. Next thing, he's going to get rid of his flip phone. I'm pushing him towards it, But, I mean, they're doing it, and you need to be able to reach out to them. So to end, what we want to talk about, why is it important to shop local? Because everybody says, shop local, shop local, shop local. And of course, part of it is with the tax revenues. I mean, that's helpful, right? And to keeping your jobs here. But there's other reasons why you really should shop local in Walton County. Whoop. Okay, so why is it important to shop local? So number one, it improves the local economy. We talked about the tax revenues, right? So if you're shopping local, your tax dollars are staying within the county and they're being used on nice things like parks and roads and utilities and sewers and all that kind of stuff, your schools. That's important. It also helps impact your local jobs. So if you're shopping locally, then of course those local businesses are going to hire local people. And 98% of Georgia's businesses employ under 100 employees. So it's really those smaller businesses, 98% in the state of Georgia, that are employing the people. And of course, if people are employed, then they've got money to spend on goods and services, which also help the economy. It helps maintain infrastructure, because every zero spent online, 0%, $0 in sales tax stays in the state of Georgia. So when you're shopping online, you're not improving your local economy. I mean, I know it's really easy, Zappos is awesome, but you're not getting the tax dollars here. It helps establish a vibrant and diversified shopping experience. So why is that, Laura? Well, the reason is that when you shop locally, you see unique products that are not offered everywhere else. When you go to the malls, what do you see? You see the same White House Black Market, you see the same Dick's, you see the same, I mean, everything's the same Old Navy, the same Gap, they're all offering the same products. But when you shop local, you see unique things that are made by local people, unique artisans, unique soaps, unique foods, because this is all being held local. So when you shop local, not only are you giving a unique gift to someone instead of the same old thing, a gift card from Target or Old Navy or whatever, but you're really helping your local economy. Let's see, you preserve your green space. Now this was interesting, I didn't even think about this, but locally grown foods are fresher and most are packed within 24 hours. So when you shop locally, when you shop the farmer's market, when you go to the restaurant that offers local produce, what you're doing is you're preserving your green space. And the more demand you have for that, then the more people are going to farm and save that green space around your community. And green space is nice. I mean, who likes to look at concrete all the time? It's beautiful driving in Walton County and looking at all the farms and the agribusiness. So when you shop local, you are actually preserving that. And then the last thing is, when you shop local, you sustain the arts, because you're supporting your local artists, your musicians, your craftsmen, your brewers, etc. You're sustaining the arts in the community, because the artists are business people too. So when you shop locally, that means that you're going to have more demand for the local things, and the more people you're going to have offering those types of unique products in your community. So I'm going to end about upcoming programs at the SBDC. I already told you about what a great resource we are, but we offer low-cost continuing education programs for all the ladies in the audience, the women business owners. It's my premier program. I developed it 3 years ago because there was a demand for it in the community from women business owners. It's our Women's Business Expo. It's November 20th. We have, I think, 12 booths left. Our booths go really, really fast. We have a space for 100 women. I'm bringing in 4 speakers. They're speaking on leadership. They're speaking on marketing. I have a client success story, and our associate provost of the university is speaking about leadership in the workplace for women. Every year it's a sellout. Last year I was turning people away at the door. We do not take anyone at the door. All the tickets will be gone probably by the end of next week, and the vendor booths will probably be gone by Friday. So if you're interested in attending that, I suggest that you go ahead and register online. It's a phenomenal program. You will not regret it. If you do, come and tell me. I'll give you your money back. Don't quote me on it. In January and February, we offer our Start Smart program. Our Start Smart program is a 5-week program. It's not every day, all week long. It's 1 day a week, and it's for business owners that have been in business less than 2 years. Maybe you jumped into business, never really developed your business plan, never really thought about your marketing. It's facilitated by the consultants in the office. I'm probably going to bring in a couple of consultants from around the state to help as well. And it takes you through the whole business planning process. It helps you with market research, financial projections. By the end of the program, you should have a fully vetted business plan. So that's for people looking to start a business, or people who jumped into business and never actually did that. We've even had some existing businesses come and take it where perhaps they've grown a little bit and they never thought about a business plan, and now they're thinking about how can they grow further, add some employees. Those are the types of businesses that take that. That's sponsored by Wells Fargo. It's $495, but we have tuition reimbursement for $300 for the first handful of people that sign up. So if you're interested in that, I recommend you sign up for it so you get the scholarship. And and we only take one person per industry, so it's an open facilitation and dialogue, so there's no competitors in the room. And we do that so people can learn from each other. And then for our established businesses, in the summer of 2016, we're going to be offering our Grow Smart program. Our Grow Smart program is, again, a 5-week program. We feed you breakfast and lunch. We feed you really good at the SBDC. That's why we're always on a diet afterwards. But we bring in a facilitator from Atlanta, Tim Fulton. He's a Vistage CEO facilitator. He does a phenomenal job. The same thing, we only take one industry per group. Some industries sell out very, very quickly. And it really takes you through the expansion. And it is a strategic planning session. So by the end of that program, you should have a good idea of how you want to take your business to the next level. Because there's certain things that you need to do in order to do that. That's $895. And if you're interested in any of those programs, please come and see me. I'd be more than happy to tell you about it, or I could even hook you up with a reference of someone who's taken it before. Thank you. I'm Laura Katz, the Area Director of the Athens Small Business Development Center. I hope this wasn't too much information for you. If we have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions now to the best of my abilities. Not one question? Oh, I got one here. Yes, ma'am.
That we need a website because mine is 5 years old.
Okay.
Does YouTube, where I have my 3-minute video, or Twitter equal that? Because no one was looking at my website.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I dropped it.
Right. So this is the interesting thing. Depending on who your demographic is, Twitter might not even be the best place for you to be. It just really depends on your demographic, and we can get in, I'm not going to get into details of that right now, but what you want to think about when you're putting those out there is, where does my demographic get their information, and that's where you need to be putting your time and resources. Now, a website, even though you say people are not Googling my website or finding my website, what happens is, if you're at a YouTube, what you want to do is, anytime you're in any of those free things like Twitter and YouTube, you want to always make sure that you are sending people back to your website, because you own your website and you can collect the data there. You do not own YouTube, you do not own Twitter. So if they decided to start charging, they wanted to shut you down for some reason, all that information is gone. So you want to make sure that your website is up to date, so when people do come to your website, that they're getting a good experience there. Okay? I think I saw one other question. Yes, sir.
The original demographics that you showed, what was the data set for that? How old was the data?
Oh, that data was from 2013. That's from Nielsen, N-E-I-L-S-E-N. You know the guys that used to do like the TV? So they're a huge data collector.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering how fresh it was.
It's very fresh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me how much the registration is for the Women's Expo?
Mm-hmm. So the registration is $59 for an individual ticket, and the vendor's booth are $159 and include 2 attendees. I mean, it's really, really cheap. You can't beat it with a stick. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
How many clients do you work with each year?
Mm-hmm. So each consultant is required to work with a minimum of 100 clients per year. Typically, it's more than that.
Mm-hmm. How many consultants?
Each office has between 2 and 3 consultants. We're down right now for our consultants, so we just have 1. It's me. No. We have me, and then we have Michael Myers is our new consultant. He just started with us. Say hello, Michael. Michael has a very strong restaurant and service industry background, so he's going to be a huge resource. He'll start seeing clients in January. He's onboarding right now. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I noticed that the retail analysis did not include any contracting businesses.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't hear you.
No
Contracting
contracting.
businesses.
No
There's nothing on the slide about contracting businesses.
Home repairs.
Contracting.
Service industry.
Oh, yeah, I think they were combined. Well, if you're doing, I think what we looked at here was just business to consumer. If it's business to business, that wasn't included in this data, but I do have that data available. So if you need that, if you're working with a consultant, then we could get that information for you. Any other questions? No. Thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed it. I love talking about this stuff. I could talk about marketing all day long. So thank you so much for having me today.
Hello, I'm Walton County Sheriff Joe Chapman. I want to take a minute to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Please be safe. There's going to be lots of festivities and parties and family get-togethers. Please be safe. Don't drink and drive. There's always someone out there that'll be willing to take you where you need to go if you've had too much to drink. Traffic is going to be congested. Please be careful. Obey traffic laws. And look out for the other driver. From all of us here at the Walton County Sheriff's Office, have a very Merry Christmas, a safe one, and a Happy New Year.
Hi there, I'm Emily Russell with Clearview Regional Medical Center, just coming to you with a really quick health update. If you have not received your flu shot this year, your flu shot vaccination, please do so. It seems that the flu has not quite hit Georgia as widespread as it has hit in other areas. And we're hoping that we don't have a flu epidemic on our hands this year as we have in years past. So the best way to prevent that is by getting your flu shot. In addition, just a friendly reminder, if you have met your deductible this year, this is a great time to get some of those elective surgeries that you've perhaps been putting off. Things like getting that knee checked out that just aches and hurts and doesn't feel quite right, or that hip that doesn't feel excellent, but you hate to go to the doctor. If you've met your deductible this year, this is the time to get in to see your physician and get those extra little aches and pains looked at, whether it be aches and pains physically, or perhaps you're having allergy troubles. We have a great ENT, Doug Miller, here on staff with Clearview ENT. That would be excellent to get into. So just whatever you might have, those aches and pains that you just can't quite figure out, we would love to see you for that. We have an expanded primary care network now serving you. We have 2 offices here in Monroe. One is off of Breedlove Drive at 704 Breedlove Drive, just across from the old hospital. And on December 1st, we'll be seeing patients 5 days a week there. We're bringing in a new physician. Her name is Dr. Julie Allen, and we are so excited to have her providing family medicine. We'll be accepting new patients. Walk-ins are welcome, and we'll be also accepting pretty much all insurance types and all ages. All the way down from pediatrics to geriatrics. So if you're looking for a primary care provider, come and see us at Clearview Primary Care at Breedlove. In addition, we have 2 wonderful and phenomenal internal medicine physicians that are here on our campus at the hospital. That's Dr. Marilyn Digamon Beltran and Dr. Robin Pettigrew. Both are internal medicine physicians and are accepting new patients here in our medical office building, which is the 2-story building just adjacent to our hospital building here on the property. We would love to see you as a new patient there as well. And then if you live on the southern end of town, closer to Social Circle, we also have a primary care clinic in Social Circle that's open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Sandy Haupt is our nurse practitioner there. And she specializes in treating a variety of primary care concerns, as well as she also specializes in weight loss. So if that's something that you are looking into or would like some more information about, give us a call. All of our primary care providers can be found at clearviewprimarycare.com. And for the offices in Monroe, the phone number is 770-267-8464. And for our office in Social Circle, the phone number is 770-267-8462. We look forward to providing you with all of your healthcare needs. As we were talking about flu shots earlier, you can also get that done by your primary care provider. We would be happy to supply you with that and help with anything that we can. So get your flu shot, check on those end of the year deductibles, make sure you get those met, and make sure that you have a primary care provider that's kind of acting as your gatekeeper for all of your healthcare needs and concerns. We constantly are continuing to have our lunch and learns on a monthly basis. We have those once a month, and all that information can be found on our website. We also have a senior bingo the 3rd Friday of every month here in our cafeteria at 10 a.m. and all are welcome to participate in that as well. If you would like information about any of our events or information about any of our physicians, you can visit our website at www.clearviewregionalmedicalcenter.com or call our physician referral line at 1-877-933-2762. Thanks so much for tuning in, and stay healthy.
Hello, I'm Kenny Sargent with Keep Walton Beautiful and the Walton County Recycling Center, and I want to thank you all for tuning in today. We've just wrapped up our America Recycles Day event, and it looks like it's going to turn out to be probably our biggest turnout yet for America Recycles Day. As everyone knows, we included the paper shredding with the paint collection this year, and we did the shoebox recycling again, and we've gotten some of the numbers back. This year we took in just under 1,200 gallons of paint, and that's about 500 more gallons than we got last year, so that's a lot of paint. So we had a lot of participation on the paint side. We didn't really know how the document destruction would go, but we ended up with just under 6,000 pounds of paper we shredded here on Saturday. And we filled up 4 boxes of shoes, which is actually pretty good for the shoes. So I wanted to take the time out to thank everybody that come through, and I hope that you had a pleasant experience. And if there's any comments you'd like to make or anything you'd like to say about the event or things we may be able to do, feel free to call us. It is the first time we've tried to do so many things with one event, and we're up for any suggestions you have to try to make this thing run as smooth as we can. And we do think it went great. But again, we would encourage you guys to call us, let us know what you think about the event, leave a message on our Facebook page. Going forward, of course, the holiday season's coming up, and we wanted to remind everyone to be sure they're recycling the things that can be recycled. We make so much waste over the next couple of months, and some of that's unavoidable, and you know, of course, we understand that. But the things that can be recycled, make a real effort to maybe purchase a few things that you know can be recycled that maybe you haven't done in the past, and the things that you do have, be sure you recycle them. That's the key. And going forward, we'll also be doing the Bring One for the Chipper again this year. So we'll have Christmas tree recycling here at our center, along with the convenience sites out through the county. We don't have an exact date for that set yet, but I will get that out to you as soon as the dates are set. We are registered. We just haven't picked the dates. We normally do it for around 10 days or so. We give you guys time to get your Christmas trees in. And that's kind of what's going on around here. We're happy to have this event done and behind us, and thank you again to all of you that turned out. We appreciate you coming. Like I always say, if you haven't been out to our center before, come out here and let us show you around, show you what we have to offer here. And if you have any questions, give us a call, 770-267-1421, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for watching. I'm Dina Huff. I'm the Executive Director for the Partnership for Families, Children, and Youth. And I just wanted to give you a few community updates about things that are going on in the community, and then share with you some new information that we want to bring back to Walton County. Just some updates. As you may well know, the Empty Stocking Fund of Walton County has geared up. We've already had several application dates already. Our last application date, and you won't view this before it happens, but it's going to be Tuesday night, the 24th. But the most important thing I think you need to know as a community is the delivery date is going to be December 19th. And if you've ever delivered in the past, you know it's very rewarding to go deliver those boxes to families. So if you're interested in helping with that process this year, it's December 19th at the National Guard Armory. We ask that all volunteers please arrive by 8 o'clock so we can ship the boxes out, and actually we have those boxes delivered by 12 o'clock on that day. So if you're interested, or if you have questions, you can always give me a call here at the partnership. The next thing I want to remind you about is the 10th annual Jingle Jog for Autism. That's going to be held again this year at Loganville High School. That's on December 12th at the Santa Land opens at 10 o'clock. That's from 10 to 12. And then the run actually is at 12:30. So again, if you have questions about that, you can call me and I'll point you in the right direction for that. The new thing I wanted to mention today, it's been a little while since you've heard about the March of Dimes in Walton County. It hasn't gone away. Premature births haven't gone away. They still happen. They happen in Georgia. They happen in Walton County. But I want to share some statistics with you that are pretty amazing. March of Dimes is not just for raising funds for premature babies. It is awareness, it's education. We need to educate pregnant moms about smoking, drinking, the things that may cause premature birth. So I learned recently that a baby is determined premature at 5.5 pounds. That is very tiny. If any of you mothers out there know, when you give birth, a 5.5 pound baby is very tiny. And in Georgia, let's see here, in Georgia, 133,947 babies are born each year. 18,363 of those babies are born prematurely, with 4,060 babies of those are born with a birth defect. And the average cost of a healthy baby is $4,320. And the average cost for a premature baby is $55,025. And the way that you as a community can help, we can help through advocacy, research, education, and support. And we have just put together a committee that will start working on this, and we hope to have something put together by next fall. And if you're interested in helping out to bring March of Dimes back to Walton County, you can contact me. But something else that I wanted to share that I thought was very interesting about premature babies. If you will look at this paper clip, and I can get you to zoom in, this paper clip right here, it's very tiny. And that is the size of a premature baby's foot. That is very, very small. And this Band-Aid right here, if you see this average size Band-Aid that we all use when we get cuts in the kitchen or whatever, this is actually the size of a blood pressure cuff for a premature baby. And my ring here, my ring finger, which is pretty average for someone my size. The ring finger, that is actually, you could put this on a premature baby's arm and it will go all the way up to the shoulder. So this is pretty significant. It kind of touched me. Neither one of my children were premature, thank goodness. But we do have premature babies here in our hospital at Clearview, and usually they have to be shipped out to another facility. So we need to make sure that we can find as much education and do as much research, and we can do that through the March of Dimes. And we would ask that you call us if you want to get involved, and you will see more and more about this as the year goes on, because we're going to actually kick off an event early fall. So if you have any questions about this, any of the stats that I shared with you today, or any questions about the community events, always feel free to call us here at the partnership at 770-207-6060. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for tuning in today. As always, we're going to show you some of the dogs and cats available for adoption here at Walton County Animal Control. You know, luckily our reported cases of rabies have been a little bit lower this year, but we've still had an occasional one test positive here and there. Hall County is now up to, I think, 16 cases of positive rabies with wildlife around their county. And so it can happen here as well. And the best thing to do to prevent that or to minimize any possible problems is to have your pet vaccinated. You know, you can get a rabies shot now for about $18, $20, depending on where you go. Every Saturday at Tractor Supply in Monroe from 1 to 2:30. They offer rabies vaccinations. It's $18 for a 3-year rabies vaccine. So it's very affordable. Get that rabies shot. And you can avoid a whole lot of mess if something happens. If your dog happens to bite somebody, whether it gets scared or something might happen and it might bite somebody, if your dog does not have a current rabies vaccine, your dog will have to be boarded either at animal control or at a veterinary clinic, which is about a minimum of $100 and going up from there. If your dog or cat gets bit by wildlife, a raccoon or a skunk that tests positive for rabies, or if we're not able to catch that skunk or raccoon, then your dog will have to go into strict isolation for 6 months, which means a double-walled enclosure, and you can't pet the animal. You have to feed it through a little door. So that's 6 months. Most people end up having their dogs put to sleep. So for an $18 rabies shot, you can avoid all that mess and just have it done ahead of time and not worry about it. You know, it happens in Hall County. It could be in our county next year. Who knows where rabies goes around. So just be sure, if you keep a pet, be responsible and have it vaccinated. If you don't have a pet, we've got some here for you to adopt, and the adoption fee does include a rabies shot, so they'll be protected from any kind of rabies or parvovirus or anything like that. So you can always look on our website, waltonpets.net, to see what we have available, and now we'll show you some of the animals here.
We have us a young male yellow lab. This one right here has been neutered already. That would help save you fee in adopting. You don't have to get them fixed, and it would only cost you $40, and he's a good boy.
Here we have a little female mixed breed. She's about 2 or 3 years old. Really sweet. Glad to be outside. Looking for a good home.
This is Pepper. She is about 11 years old. She's already spayed. She is older, but she does seem to she gets along with others, and she's very friendly.
This is Maggie. She's about a 2-year-old Shar-Pei mix. She came in as a stray. We haven't quite found her owner yet, so she'll probably be available for adoption, but you got to just love those wrinkles that she's got.
Here we have what is probably a Chihuahua, wire hair, terrier mix. Male, he's not neutered. He's a year or a little under. Really sweet, looking for a good home.
Where do you come alive? A stadium, lecture hall, a music hall, church potluck? This year, you have a new spot, walkgeorgia.org, a free website that provides you with all the resources needed to get your heart rate up and body out in your community. Sign up and receive individual or group fitness tracking, fitness demos by certified trainers, recipes, and a guide to resources in your Georgia County, all in one easy-to-use site. When you move more, you live more. walkgeorgia.org.
Do you have a collection of films and videotape sitting in your attic, basement, hall closet, or a box somewhere that are being lost to time? Creative artists can transfer your 8mm, Super 8mm, and 16mm films, as well as converting your VHS, CVHS, 8mm, and mini DV to DVD. Preserve your family's video history for the generations to come. Creative Artists, 1113 West Spring Street, Monroe, 770-267-7368. Walton County Healthcare Foundation is having its 4th annual marathon and 5K race on Saturday, December the 5th. It's going to be at the Harmony Elementary School at 934 Harmony Church Road in Monroe. Need more information? You can call the race director, David Dickinson, at 770-601-9809. The 2015 Jingle Jog will be at the Loganville High School on December the 12th. Santa Land will open at 10 o'clock and the run will begin at 12:30. So come out and get your Jingle Jog on. December 3rd will be the Monroe Christmas Parade. Come out to downtown Monroe. The parade will begin at 6:30.